she's talking to investors, because God, that's obvious, from her trip to China onwards, that's what we need. We need people to start feeling confident. And actually some of the worst sort of polling is the stuff that shows people have just kind of lost an appetite, or they're scared off Britain, or they think that Britain's a sort of a miserable, wet, grey place. It is miserable and wet, but it's not, or it is grey and wet. It is grey and wet, but it's not miserable. And so I think it is partly, you're right, I think it is a dare I say, a vibes thing.
But there's also the gilt markets as well, where the cost of government debt has gone up, and as a result of that means she's got kind of even less fiscal headroom. There's less money to spend, and she was going to have to potentially, make savage cuts to departmental budgets as a way of balancing the books. Now, she's also trying to reassure the markets as well as part of this thing. Is it a bad thing? Discuss. Is it a bad thing that we struggle to find good soundbites from this speech? I mean, because don't we want a chancellor who's going to do the right stuff for the next 4 years? And the fact that she's not performative.
It's really interesting. Our editor was saying that this is not a speech that you can make in the age of Trump. In the sense that who sits through that? I mean, obviously we do, but who really hears that? There wasn't a single sort of punchy line that came out of it. The flip side is, we've had a lot of punchy lines. We hear Trump's nonsense the whole time. We hear Boris Johnson talking about Peppa Pig. We've kind of had all that stuff. So in a way, yes, this is the civil service in government now. But if they actually get stuff done, right?
I think, John, to your point, I think it's fine to have a speech like this, which is quite dense and occasionally sort of seems quite complicated and doesn't have a really clear message. I mean, there is a clear message around building, and some of the stuff that, if they pull off some of the changes in planning, for example, it will be genuinely transformative over the medium to long term. It will have a really, really big impact, and there will be political cost to it. So they're going to be tried and they're going to be tested as to whether they see through it.